Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Grind. I'm your co-host, Terrell Williams. I've got my co-host with me, Saba Costas, and we're going to talk to Coach Bentley today. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Awesome. Doing great. Doing great. Hey, so before we get going, just want to spread the word, for our listeners out there, just continue to share this with us because, again, it helps us, helps the program. And along with that, just want to say thank you to our Rockfin, our patron subscribers. And wherever you can see this, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Rockfin, and YouTube. So thank you so much. So, John Mark, I'm going to load you up with a heavy hitter question. How was your Thanksgiving?
It's good. It's busy. We got a lot of family close by, so that means a lot of different venues and parties and family get-togethers that we have to go to. So it's always a busy time around here in the holidays for sure.
Now, I am curious, with it being wrestling season, do you stay in the zone and you limit what you eat for Thanksgiving? Or do you load up and make sure you get like the mashed potatoes with the gravy and all the unhealthy stuff that you shouldn't eat?
You know, I eat fine. I don't think I think when you're as far out of wrestling, like competition mode as I am, I think you forget how much you appreciate food, like right after, you finish competing and you can eat whatever you want. But, I eat fine, but I probably, as healthy now as I ever have and probably limit my portions as to, whatever. And then actually, my little one was sick on Thanksgiving Day, so I had practice with my team on Thanksgiving morning, and then I stayed with her and let my wife go to her family's for Thanksgiving. So I didn't even go to the first
Mm.
Thanksgiving. So
Okay. Well, sorry to hear about her getting sick, but glad you had a good Thanksgiving. So, yeah, it's been a little while. So we've had a few tournaments in that time. Um, three in particular, but the first one I want to talk about, I want to go back a step to the Keystone Classic. Talk to us about, some things you saw that you liked there. I know you've got a lot of players that came out of that and a couple of champions from that tournament.
yeah, it was a good event for us. It was a team. A total team effort, I felt like. And, I felt like our team actually wrestled a lot better at the Keystone Classic than we did the previous week at our tournament. And I think, maybe just, getting in a routine and, we got some young guys that are trying to find their way. And, I thought those guys really wrestled a lot better. We showed a lot more grit and fight, which is, the staples of this program. And that was kind of something I was really pleased with. And, I think we took 18 wrestlers there, and I think of the 18 wrestlers, we placed like 13 or 14 of them. So, the majority of the guys we took placed, had some really good wins. We had multiple placers at a lot of weight classes. And, John had a really good tournament, won the tournament title. And then Will Miller, our 174 pounder, kind of had a breakout tournament for himself. He, went from being unseeded to winning the tournament, in pretty dominant fashion. And so I think he splashed on the scene and now starting to make a name for himself. So I'm excited about the direction that the team was going at the Keystone. And, it was right after that, we went right into Thanksgiving break, but our guys stayed here and trained and, got ready for the two tournaments we were at this past weekend at Cliff Keen in Las Vegas and, the Patriot Open up there at George Mason. So.
That's awesome. So just to cap off the Keystone, yeah, great showing. And that week, Milner was named SoCon Wrestler of the Week, so that's great as well for that week after the Keystone Classic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
I think he got Wrestler of the Week, and then today he just was announced as SoCon Wrestler of the Month.
yeah, which is just fantastic. So going into last week, right, and before we get into your the results, I want you to just talk to the fans about what it meant, like in terms of why you chose Cliff King as a tournament and what that means to the program in terms of later on the level of competition that they would see.
Well, I think, when we were scheduling back, last spring when I was starting to really kind of detail out our schedule and kind of look at where we wanted to go and the things we wanted to do. I knew we were returning, 5 or 6 returning NCAA qualifiers, and that we had some veterans that were returning that really, we want to give them the best shot possible at reaching their goal of being a national champion or an All-American. And to do that, you have to test yourself against the best wrestlers in the country, before the end of the year. And so, that's the main reason why I scheduled, the way that I did. And I knew the Cliff King tournament has become probably the toughest tournament in the country, outside of the NCAA tournament. And so I wanted to give all of our veterans and our top guys the opportunity to see some of the best guys in the country early in the first semester, so we have plenty of time to make adjustments, see where we're at, tweak some things, and that's exactly what it benefited us. And then we didn't originally have the Patriot Open on our schedule, but we had a couple of our younger wrestlers that I felt like they just needed a little more mat time, at a different tournament than the Las Vegas tournament, and try to test themselves and kind of develop. And so we decided to take 11 guys up to the Patriot Open, and we had 6 placers, a champ, and 3 finalists there. So I think all in all, it was a really productive weekend for the program.
Awesome, awesome. So going a little bit into each of them, I know you just talked results. Talk about what you saw out of those 2 tournaments. I know you said, I know you mentioned that Keystone was a little bit better showing than what you said this last weekend, but I'm sure there were some positives to take away. So talk about that for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think the tournament at Las Vegas. I mean, you look at it, we took 7 wrestlers, and it being the toughest tournament in the country, and all 7 of our wrestlers won matches there. And so I think that speaks in itself. I mean, several of them were unseeded, so the fact that they won matches, shows that we were in the right place and we were competing hard and battling. And then we had 3 placers. John Milner ended up taking 4th at 149 pounds. Had a couple of really tough matches. Lost 2 1-pointers, from the semis, and then in the consolation finals to guys that ranked top 10 in the country. They're both 1-point matches, and I think it, maybe kind of showed him some things that, some weaknesses that he's got to fix. And, that's perfect. That's what we wanted. We want to go and see kind of where we're at, test ourselves against the best in the country, and find out if we have deficiencies, find them out now, not find them out in March. And so we've got a lot of things to build on and to work on from there. So I think it was good for him. I think it was, obviously you never like to take a loss or 2, but I don't think it's a bad thing for John. I think it'll make him more motivated and show him some things he's got to fix. And then Tommy Askey just had a phenomenal tournament, as a sophomore, going out to Cliff Keen unseeded, ended up placing 8th. He beat 2 nationally ranked opponents there. One of them was a returning 2-time NCAA qualifier and number 19th ranked kid in the country from Northern Iowa. So, just a great tournament for him. And then Will Formato, finished 7th at probably the deepest weight class in the tournament. There was a lot of really, really good wrestlers at 165, and he had some quality wins. And I think is starting to wrestle better and better each week. And so a lot of positives. I mean, I think our guys are really they got what we needed out there. Even at 25 and 33, just to show the depth of the tournament. Caleb Smith lost in the blood round to place to the number 10th ranked kid in the country. That was his blood round match. So it's kind of match you're going to have at the NCAA tournament. Top 10 guy right in there in that blood round. And then Sean Carter, I think both the opponents he lost to were, top, 15, 16 in the country as well. So, even some of the matches that we, didn't particularly feel like we should lose or, felt like we should win, our effort was good and some weaknesses and some things got exposed that we can definitely go back to the training and implement a few things to fix some of our mistakes.
Sounds good. Sava here. I'm going to bring it home for the rest of the podcast. I guess looking forward, December 15th, you're going to go to Chapel Hill, your alma mater. What does it mean to go back there and compete and bring the current team you have to Carmichael Arena, correct?
Yeah. Carmichael's where we'll be wrestling.
Right. So I
Well, I
know the
mean,
fans will show up.
yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, obviously, being an alumni from North Carolina, I've got a lot of pride bringing App State into their home venue. Obviously, we want to go out down there and get a win. And I don't think it's necessarily just because it's my alma mater, but we want to be the best team in the state of North Carolina. There's some bragging rights and some pride involved with that, and I feel like that our program here at Appalachian State is very worthy of being a formidable opponent for all the P5s in the state. And I think if you asked any of them, they'll tell you they know that they're going to have to battle when they wrestle us. And we know North Carolina's got a really good team. I think they're ranked maybe 15th, 14th, 15th in the country right now, but we're excited for the opportunity. I think our guys can wrestle with them. And I think our guys are motivated. And, again, it's just going to be another great test for our team and, get to test ourselves against some of the best wrestlers in the country. I know they're going to be motivated. We're not going to sneak up on them just like NC State. I mean, they know that they're going to have to wrestle us. We don't sneak up on anybody anymore. Our program has, gotten to a point where we get respect from the big schools. Like nobody overlooks us. They're going to be ready to wrestle us because they know they have to be. And so we're not counting on anything like that. We're going to have to go in there, and if we want to win, we're going to have to earn it. And that's going to be competing really really hard from start to finish at all 10 weight classes.
Exactly, exactly. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but we do have our first home duel coming up on December 20th. I think that's a tri-meet with Bellarmine and Queens.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
do you want to talk any about that, or kind of wait and see how things go? I hate to jump ahead too far, but it is a
No, I
home
mean, I think
duel,
it's
the
yeah,
first
I
one.
think it's important for our fans to know that that's going to be your next opportunity to see our program wrestle at home. And I do think if you haven't purchased your season tickets yet, now would be a great time to get those. I mean, you're going to find out if you come to Varsity Gym for the first time and watch our team compete, it's going to be an electric atmosphere. And I'm excited. We got a lot of things that I think are going to really uh, take our dual meet experience to the next level. I'm really excited, not to be a spoiler or anything, but, we're going to have a new home meet announcer this year. And, he came and auditioned today, and I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he could be the best home meet announcer that we've ever had. And I think he's really going to bring a lot of energy to Varsity Gym, to an already awesome environment, and I'm really excited about that. It really got me motivated as I left work today. Knowing number one that we've kind of figured out who's going to be our new announcer, but number two that he has so much potential and just has such a great voice and passion for doing a great job. So excited about that. And I mean, I think our guys, they work really hard and they've earned the right to wrestle in front of a sold out crowd. So, that's your first opportunity to see us at home. Really, put that on your calendar. I think it's Tuesday night, December the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Make plans and be in Varsity Gym. You could see us wrestle Bellarmine, which is a conference school, and Queens, which will be in the conference I think they have a 2-year or a 3-year transition period from Division II to Division I, and then they'll be moving into the Southern Conference.
Hmm.
And then there's also a really good high school match that's going to be going alongside our first match against Bellarmine. Fred T. Ford, which was the state champions in 2 or 3A last year. They're going to be wrestling Northwest Guilford, who, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were state champions 2 years ago in 4A, or maybe it was last year. So you're really two good high school teams will be wrestling at the same time we're wrestling Bellarmine.
That's exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the home match. I'm excited for the announcer. Going to the Southern Scuffle, are there going to be any redemption matches? What teams will be there that maybe some of our guys have lost to that they're going to get a chance to right that wrong?
Sava, you got me. I haven't really, I haven't really done a lot of research on the scuffle
Okay.
yet. I'm just focused on this next match
Yeah,
at
yeah.
North Carolina, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't even looked at what our roster is going to look like at Southern Scuffle. We're, seeing who we're going to take, and we get 15 entries, and so I'm not sure who those 15 guys are going to be. I do imagine we will wrestle some of our starters. I just don't know which ones, and so I'll probably know a little bit more. I have a better handle on that after we wrestle Carolina next week.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, and hopefully we'll have another podcast to go over the scuffle before that happens. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about in particular
No, I mean,
before we
I
close
didn't
it out
really,
here?
yeah, I didn't really get to touch on, a couple of our young guys that I think are doing a great job, and names that you're going to start seeing really, you're going to start seeing as being common household names, in our program. Carson Floyd. It might have flown under the radar since we were in Las Vegas last week, but he actually won the Patriot Open up at George Mason as a true freshman this past weekend at 197 pounds. I think he's like 10-3 on the year, and that's the second Open that he's won. So really, really excited about Carson Floyd. He's an in-state product from Lake Norman, and really, I think he's going to be a
Awesome.
really strong spot in our lineup moving forward. Luke Uliano, another redshirt freshman, ended up taking second at 184 pounds. So we got those two guys that are really coming along, and then I want to kind of touch on Will Miller again, our 174. Had a breakout tournament at Keystone, won the Keystone Classic, and wrestled some really tough matches at Las Vegas, and he's showing a lot of promise. So it's exciting to see some of these new faces that are going to be the faces of the program kind of starting to step up over here, and see what's going to be coming in the future.
Sounds good. So I guess we're going to start ending the podcast a little different. We're going to start asking kind of fans to ask their questions. They can be directly for you, Coach Bentley, or just the podcast in general. But we're excited to hear from our fans. So be on the lookout for a way to submit questions on our social media outlets. And if you are not following us, make sure you get connected. So my question to you is, for Coach Bentley, I saw on the App Wrestling social media today that you had pool workouts today. Can you share about the importance of active recovery and how that plays a role with a sport that has such a long season like wrestling?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was looking at our training schedule for this week, and I lay out our training schedule 7 days in advance, and I kind of lay it out for the week. We had a really hard trip in Vegas. I mean, we took the red eye back on Saturday night, coming right back into finals week. Our reading day is tomorrow. So some of our guys' bodies were a little run down from a really, really difficult and very taxing tournament. The travel, being on a different time zone for 5 days, and then getting back, kind of losing, pretty much a night of sleep, coming back on the red eye on Saturday night. And then we had guys that wrestled at the Patriot Open on Sunday. Instead of going right back to the mat today, I kind of wanted to kind of, get a workout in, but something off the mat to kind of, push our guys, maybe get a good workout in, but maybe give their bodies just a little bit of a recovery from the wrestling room. And so we went in and did our pool workout today. Some of our guys will tell you, I mean, it's a tough workout, but it's not so hard on your joints, and help some of our guys heal up and recover, and get their legs back under them before we get started back at it hard tomorrow.
Awesome. So fans out there, remember to be on the lookout for a place you can ask your own questions on one of our social media platforms, and it'll be featured here on The Grind for Coach Bentley or us to answer. And I guess with that being said, thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys in Varsity Gym this season, and a big thanks to Coach Bentley for tuning in tonight. Good night, and thanks for listening. So, thanks again for
Thanks.
joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.